Happy Valentine's Day. I hope everybody had a great Valentine's. My co host Debbie was here 2 weeks ago. We had so much fun, so we're going to put her on for like once or twice a month.
I'm thrilled, happy to be back.
Great, great. And Charlie said he wanted to come and say hello and say Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. He's a little boy among all us girls here. And what we wanted to talk today really is about, how Valentine's Day. How was it for you, Debbie?
I just find Valentine's Day kind of like a lot of other days where we hope to have peace, love, and tranquility in our world. So that I know it sounds very la la, but I strive for that, especially with those that surround me. I've said when my children were growing up, peace starts in the house. We didn't always have an absolute tranquility in the house, of course, because we're human. But I'd like to think that it's a reminder, but it should be just the same as any other time of day or year.
Yeah.
It's good for businesses. It's good for Hallmark. People go out to dinner. My
Yeah.
son, who works in a restaurant, they took 500 reservations last night. We live in the north. It was howling snow, and they went out anyway because it is an important holiday to express our love to our loved ones. But shouldn't we do that all the time? Maybe not go out to dinner all the time, but be.
Well, some women like to go out to dinner all the time. I don't. Because I don't think really most of the cooks that are in some of the restaurants in our area here are really not that sharp, you
Oh,
know?
please, I just can't
Yeah.
afford it.
Yeah.
I probably eat out at least every weekend.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we do have to make room for other things like
Fuel.
the mediocrity of life.
Yeah,
Yes.
fuel
Yeah.
and
Heating
yeah,
oil up
heating
here in the
oil.
north.
Yeah. I mean, how do you like this cold weather?
I
I mean,
hope our listeners are enjoying some better weather than we are. At least the sun is shining, but with that howling wind, the
yeah.
chill factor is down well below zero today.
Oh yeah, we have here. I looked at our thermometer, and we had this morning here 20 below.
So it's a
Yeah.
good weekend to snuggle in with your loved ones
Yeah.
and celebrate Valentine's
Oh
Day.
yeah.
And what do we like to do? Maybe cook something special,
Yeah.
show our appreciation for each other.
Yeah. And you know what? I've always liked Valentine's Day. Because I like women and I have a few women friends. And I try to tell them, because some of the women friends are not quite as lucky as others. I mean, if you have a partner that was a little bit more on the dense side, that he just doesn't think that Valentine's Day is important to buy any flowers at all, and surely not during the year anyway. My husband does. It's not one of those. He goes out special and buys me flowers every Valentine's Day. And I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that my girlfriend sent me emails and say, you're special to my friendship. I love you. Thank you.
I didn't do that for you.
Yeah, that's all right. But I know that you do
Yeah.
because you live right next door to me.
Yeah.
And we see each other very frequently. But many of my friends, I don't see them that often. And I don't even talk to them that often, but we are still friends. If they have a problem, they will call me or they will send me a note and saying, can you help me? Or I've been a little bit away and but I just thought of you and appreciate that you're in my life, and I like that.
Here's the difference. You are a romantic.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
And you have a husband who shares that sentiment.
Well, at times. He's not perfect, as I am not.
And I'm saying Valentine's Day is just like every
Yeah,
other day
right.
because here's a person who isn't
Is
as
not
much
as
of a
much of a
romantic.
but I know that you are.
And my husband also is the kind that needs to, in the morning, I said, Happy Valentine's Day, sweetheart. And he said, Oh my goodness.
Well,
Really?
well, that's great.
So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Both ends of the spectrum,
But-
right here.
and hey, listen, I have another friend whose husband really had, I mean, he has some medical issues, and he really lost it. The last couple of days, and I mean, she has to work through that now with him, and so yeah, there are so many different. That's why girlfriends come in. Girlfriends are a super thing to have. I mean, anybody of you out there, women, and some of the men, I mean, I've had great friendships with men. They were not, they were not sexual friendships, but they were friendships, and they appreciated me as a friend, and not so much as a woman. But since I am a woman, I have a different viewpoint on many things. So they enjoyed that. And if you do have these, but tell them even tomorrow. I mean, if you haven't thought of it now, send them an email saying, "I appreciate you being in my life."
Text.
Text. Send a real email. I mean, in the old days, I'm not going as far as a Hallmark card because I have to pay $5 for a card.
Oh yeah.
But send a nice little email with maybe some hearts on it or some flowers or whatever. It's so easy to do today. And Jackie Lawson, as you know, the card maker, she has fantastic cards,
Online
the
cards.
online cards, and they are as sweet and nice as they can be. And it costs what, $15 for the year? I mean, huh? So, and you can send all year long. You can send birthday cards, Christmas cards, Easter cards, St. Nicholas cards.
On my refrigerator, where I've honored my children's artwork since they made artwork. I have artwork for my grown-up children. On my refrigerator now, there are cards like sending their love. And
that's exactly it.
Yeah, that's really nice. They made them. They didn't.
There you go.
They didn't
See?
buy the pre-made. They didn't send the online cards. They made them out of like
Isn't that great?
construction
Yes.
paper, glitter, and markers.
Yes. Yes.
And even though they're grown-up children, they still find the time and the sentiment to do that. So and in return, my children move out and acquire pets. Their situation changes. I can't say how many pets live in my house because now I have grand pets. So in turn, they get cards usually from their pets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Handmade
with a little paw print.
With a little paw print.
And hopefully they'll remember that when their situation changes again, that maybe my house won't be so runneth over with these beautiful pets.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know. We are sort of a
pet love.
Yeah.
Pet love for Valentines. I mean,
definitely.
This show started out with more of a focus towards the other animals in the kingdom besides humans.
Right.
And I would just like to mention that as we're sharing our love throughout the weekend and the week and the month and the year, let's also be kind to our all that we take care of, because world peace starts at home. And don't I sound like a grown-up hippie? But which we really are.
We really are, and no, it's perfectly that's perfectly all right and perfectly good like that. I don't know what my dog is having a problem with. I think he's fighting with a chair right now. He is sight impaired, and there's a chair in front of in a way that he had not seen before. So now he has to bark at it.
And it has the scent of I have a piece of clothing on that has the scent of all the pets.
Of all the other pets. So now
house.
He's fighting with that chair. Charlie, if you don't behave.
But to go back to being kind to the animals, for instance, the temperature here, I don't know how many of you are having to deal with this extreme weather. I think it wherever you are in the country, there's been hardships. with
on the
some
West Coast
with
with the
some with
flooding.
some types of weather, and be mindful of their needs. Like
Yeah.
these little guys, when they go out and they get cold, be mindful of when they want to come back in. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
some people dress up their pets, but I'm not sure that's needed. But certainly protect them from the elements, the
Oh, yeah.
salts that could be down there getting on their little paws and that sort of thing. So
And I do believe that horses should also, many people keep their horses with just a run-in shed, where there's really not a lot of, especially the wind that we've been having lately has been so icy. Um, and many people now, I know you have a good place for them to go in and stay out of the wind. And your horse today, what you told me, she was lying out in the snow, right?
well, she's got a black coat. So
Yeah,
that sun came out, even though it's probably 20 below with the wind chill. She was absorbing those rays in the snow, and we
yeah,
are somewhat protected because we get a lot of south side
right,
exposure. So
right.
I was grateful for that. That's not the case at night. And
Yeah.
I got up this morning at 7 a.m., looked out, and they were cranky.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were they were hungry and they were cranky.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I could have done better. I could have given them probably extra hay last night.
Yeah. Well, like I said, nobody is perfect, but we last night we left one of our horses inside the stall, because I was walking impaired, so I didn't feed. Tom fed, and this morning when I got up and went out to feed, there was Diamond in the stall, and he was just really a little cranky, and he was not a happy camper because he didn't have any water, and but he had enough hay, and he was fine. But many people don't protect their animals as much as they should. Now, I'm not talking about babying. I'm talking about protection from the elements, and I've said that many times. That should be really our goal. Also, not only do they need love, but they do need the protection also uh, from us. We have here also out and now we are having Dasha come and visit us. This is Dasha. Dasha was a cat that was dropped here by a friend who went to move back into New York City. He didn't think that Dasha would be happy in the city in an apartment. So he dropped Dasha off to us. And now Dasha is a totally, he adopted us and we adopted him. And he's a super cat and we love him to pieces.
And you have friends that do to you what children do to
Oh,
you.
yeah, our children, but our children did that in the past too.
Moving.
Oh, yeah, our
Them.
children did that in the past too. We had cats. Um, I remember one cat that was born here. Then it went to our son. One of the kittens went to our son that was born here. Remember the night that Anik died? Those kittens that were born here, right? Yeah.
Behind this wall,
Right.
right behind this wall, right? There's
Right.
a closet right here.
Yeah. And there were the kittens born, yeah. And
Life and death.
and he came back to us when our son went to India. He said, "Well, I'm off to India. I'm going to explore my I don't know, my inner self or whatever it was." And he left us the cat. So yeah, children do that.
I bet that you listeners out there are relating to this because this can't be unique to
No.
Blair or anything.
No.
I'm sure that you've experienced. We'd love to hear your experiences, how you've acquired your household full of animals or
Yeah.
yards full.
Debbie,
Yes.
you are sitting a little bit too far from the mic, or the mic. Where is the mic?
Oh, well, because the Dasha was sitting in front of it.
Oh, okay.
I think Dasher was absorbing what I was saying. Yes.
Yeah.
Dasher got it. I'm sorry if the viewers and listeners didn't get it.
Yeah,
I
we
was
couldn't hear you.
I was making an appeal. I made an appeal I saying that our situation is certainly not unique. Many people have acquired their loved pets, their grand pets from friends
Family.
and family as we have. And
Yeah.
we'd love to hear your stories
Right.
of how you got that pet and how many years it's been with you. And my husband refers to when he'll talk to a pet, because of course we do that. He'll say, "Go see mom," and I say, "I'm not mom, I'm grandmom."
Yeah, well, we all call our
I
our animals
I
children.
deny
Yeah.
that these pets are actually
Really living there
mine.
permanently.
Yes, permanent. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. Did you see in the news the little dog that went to see its owner in the hospital?
I did.
I think a lot of our listeners probably did, because it made the rounds all throughout. I think there was a YouTube
It was
video,
viral.
yeah, viral, and that really shows, and it is such a really heartwarming Valentine's story, really, because it shows really that they do love us. That there is really a connection, not so much just for us as caregivers and as feeding machines that give them, but as that they really do care for us and that they really love us, that there's an emotion there. Um, we talked about that the last time too, of that there is that we have to be careful that we don't put too many humanly qualities into our animals. But it seems like they're having more and more. And I guess there was a story of about that they have uh, made a research of how dogs really relate to their owners. And unfortunately I missed that, and I'm going to see if I can find that, and maybe we can talk about that another time. But my email out today was "Love is in the air," and it certainly is. They um, everybody is trying to be. I really found that Valentine's Day, everybody is trying to be just a little bit nicer. Even if I go to the store or so on, I often say, "Well, happy Valentine's Day," and happy. I hope you have some kind of a love connection with anybody, or anything. I mean, because without love, we are very deprived humans, very deprived. They have found there was in I grew up in Berlin, and as many of you will know, unless you're 15 years old, but there used to be an East and a West Berlin, and there was an East zone, and the Russians owned half of Germany, really, not half, a little more than a quarter. Okay. And at one point, because I grew up in the west part of Berlin, but at one point I went over to the east side, and that's a long story. I will have that in my book one day. But I was living there, and I found out something that I found really very, very horrifying. And then I did research on it, and they were not the only ones who felt that way. The Communist Party really felt that children under the age of 5 didn't really need any love. They only needed to be taken care of. And we saw that in the Balkans, where they had found orphanages where children were so deprived of love and human contact that they were damaged. They were really damaged. They were mentally not able to live a full and good life. And we found that later research has shown that without love, uh, really genuine love, that means the caring and the touching and the hugging and the voice of, the voicing of I love you, I care for you, I like you to be around. Um, People are deprived and they are mentally not as functioning. And we found that with animals the same. Uh, an animal that is raised by itself, that's why when you see an animal that comes and seeks a dog's friendship, a deer that seeks a dog's friendship, very likely it was small, it didn't have any other deer around, so it took the dog instead of its own kind and made friends with that dog. Dog was kind enough and generous enough to make a friendship with that deer. And that's all it takes. It takes two entities, one seeking and one kind enough to give. And hopefully it interacts that, at one point the other one is the one who gives and the other one receiver. And that is what is called communication, no?
That's a great point. I completely agree. There's so many examples.
Yeah. And really on Valentine's Day, just like you said, we should remember to voice it, to do it, not just to have it in my head. Like in the big, I've been married now 33 years, 34 years this year. Oh my God. I can't believe that I've been married that long. But
Guys,
yes,
we have a question.
of course.
Uh, Julie's asking, when a dog is a little more aggressive than you like with strangers, what is the
Yeah.
best way, other than locking him up, to handle the situation when guests come to visit?
How
And
much
Jeff
more
was
aggressive?
answering and said, keep him on a tight leash next to you.
Yeah.
But how would you
Yeah.
handle that?
How much more aggressive, I'd want to know. Does the
Bite
dog growl, snap?
or just bark?
Let's see if
It's a
she'll answer.
it's a question of being socialized,
Yeah.
and the dog should have the opportunity to be more socialized. But I'd want to know a little bit more, Julie, about the dog's behavior.
Is she going to answer? Yeah. Well,
She's saying not too bad, but intimidating.
okay, I have one of those too. I have a little Maltese poo, Teddy, right? And he makes believe he will eat you alive. You know, certainly your shoes because he's small. But um, first of all, Julie has to be the alpha dog. She has to teach him that, and she should have taught him early on. If she got him when he was an adult, well, then it's a little bit more work, but she has to exert her dominance. Okay, that does not mean that she has to hit him or push him away or anything. He has
Just
to
just
learn.
just don't say that she has to hump him.
No, 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 no.
To assert her dominance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, she has to just really have him and have a sound. I usually have a sound of no. All my animals know no. Okay, that's a very good word to learn for all animals, for all people too.
You know what else works, and it's like that.
Yes.
And it gets it to Julie. Is this dog intact or has he been altered? Because that would really kind of have a bearing on the level of his aggression. An intact dog is of course more hormonal and territorial and can be, not of course necessarily so, but can be by nature more aggressive.
He's fixed.
He's fixed. Yeah.
Oh, well.
And he's small. He's a small dog.
He might not be small. He's intimidating.
No, but
Small.
small. Yeah,
Oh, he's
the small. I know
I guessed
because
big.
no, because the large dogs are often very self-assured. They will not be. The small dogs are the ones that it's, I hate to say that, but you know what? Small men are too much more much more aggressive than than tall, strong, big men.
Well, of course, that
And
aggression stems from insecurity.
absolutely,
And your
that's my
and
point.
your yeah, it's a good point. And your dog may be feeling threatened, so he'll take he'll feed off of your energy, Julie. And it's if you react in certain ways towards visitors, if you're concerned that your dog is going to get a little bit out of hand, your dog's going to realize that from your body language and
Right,
from your attitude. So a lot of it has to do with you first, and you leading the way and letting your dog know that you're in control. As Gisela said, the alpha dog, you're in control of the situation. There's nothing to be concerned about here.
right,
And to be
perfect.
able to stop that behavior with a no or a psh.
Right. And what I also do is I go right towards my visitor and extend my hand to that visitor so that Teddy knows that is a friend, you know, because they really want to keep you safe from intruders. That's especially small dogs try to do that. They try to intimidate. That's what they have. And so I go towards the person that walks in usually, and reach out my hand and touch them right away and get in between the dog and the person that
And
enters.
this person is accepted as a member of the pack.
Absolutely. Yes.
Julie, do you put any of those practices into action already? I hope that there's some little tip that's resonating that you can say, oh, I can try that. That'll be helpful.
She's
There's,
saying yes.
oh, good.
Good. Good.
How old is the dog? I
Um,
wonder if it's a very established behavior.
it might be. It might be. If it's an adopted dog, sometimes they have learned that from early on, and then it's very hard to break.
It's never
You
too
know,
late.
never
Never
too
too
late.
late.
Never. I
She's
mean,
saying
all of
so. She's sorry she didn't hear the question.
how old is the dog? Because
Five.
yeah, and that, you know what? I almost wanted to say 5 because that seems to be the age when especially male dogs have this thing about them. It's when Charlie was 5, he's now about 7, 8. I think Charlie is 8, right? Yeah, he's probably 8 by now. I don't really. I like my own birthdays, but my animals, they don't have
They're
really
forever
birthdays.
young.
They're forever young, and I really don't
Because you
have.
honor them every
That's
day.
right. That's right.
Like it's
Oh,
Valentine's Day every day.
you are so right. You are so right. Got me out of that hole. So no, but that's true. When they are around 5, my experience has been, hang in there, Julie. Help him through that. Keep teaching him, and have people come often. The more often people come, and the more often you can teach him, the better the behavior will get. If you really have a way, if he really shows a lot of aggression, there's a homeopathic remedy. It's called rescue remedy. If you just put a little rescue remedy into his water every day, a couple of drops just in his water every day, he will be a little calmer. He might be a little over hyper dog anyway, is he? Julie, is he generally very hyper?
And he'll feed off of
Oh,
Julie's.
oh yeah, of her, and you know,
She said that
um,
they. She said they had him. She had him for 2 years, and she said no. So I guess no is for the hyper.
for the hyper. Yeah, yeah, it's going to take him a little while longer. Put a little rescue when you know that you have company coming for that day. Put a little rescue in his water. He will feel a little calmer, and have people come more often to teach him. Okay, have a girlfriend come like for a week every day. Okay, and if you can. If you can't do that, then take him with you. Take him with you and walk him, because it's a socialization problem. He has to be more socialized.
Thank you for the
She's
question,
she's
Julie.
Yeah.
she's saying rescue.
Right.
Yeah, Rescue Remedy. It's called Rescue Remedy. You can buy it online. It's not expensive. You can buy it in every health food store, any Whole Food store. It's in a yellow package. It's called Rescue Remedy. Yeah. My animals get that whenever there is something unusual, like um, when we start in the spring, we go camping with our camper, and then they all pile in the car. And Teddy, who is normally a very calm and nice dog, he gets all bent out of shape. And in fact, he injured himself one time because he was running around in the car so much that he hurt his paw. So what I do is I give him rescue before, and when I forget, then he goes, you know. But you can always give that. You can give that an hour before, just right on the nose. They will lick it off, or on the paw. They will lick it off. They like the taste. It's sweet. And listen, if you feel like you have too much anxiety towards it, you take it too. It's good for you too. Yeah. So now, um, I nobody really wanted to have the USB drives. They're still available. However, here's the thing. I think why we are not getting write-ins, and I'm not doing that because I want to have an email list. No, I am not emailing you. I will not sell the emails. All we want to know what you think. We want to know of how you perceive the show. Now we changed the format. It's now called Brunch with Gisela. Debbie is like I said, my co-host, who's going to be once or twice a month. I have some other co-hosts in the pipeline to come and give other viewpoints. If you like that format, if you like to hear something, if you like me to talk about something else, it doesn't have to be always pets. I've realized that the listenership that we do have out there seems to have a wide interest. So let us know. Um, this show is for you. We don't make any money with it. We don't make any profit from it. We do it because we like it. We like doing the
We
show.
have fun.
We have fun
We
doing
do.
the show.
We appreciate your feedback and your
Absolutely.
questions.
And your questions. And so your emails will be protected, and they are still, if I get 10 write-ins, I will send one of the little USB drives. Now, one other thing is, I did a little research on aphrodisiacs, Valentines, aphrodisiacs for men and women. Our pets don't really need any aphrodisiac. I can tell you that for most part. But I will have that on my website. It will be published. There are a few homeopathic remedies that can be used towards that, and they work apparently pretty well. Um, and a few tips of how to take them, especially women who are and men who may have some dysfunction in some other way. These remedies will help with that. So if you go to my website, mylife-mywill.org, you will find it under homeopathy. Okay, so go and read it up. You can copy it if you like, and you know, have a good time with it. I hope all of you had a great day. The sun came out here. It looks wonderful out there, Debbie. We should go for a little walk. But do put Vaseline. We will put Vaseline on our cheeks and noses so we don't freeze.
It looks wonderful from this side of the window.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because it does freeze. If you live in the Northeast and you're in this bitter cold, put Vaseline on your skin when you go outside. Your skin will not freeze, especially women who want to protect their skin because cold dries out the skin much faster than heat, much faster, or the sun.
And Jeff says that he likes the new format.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Very nice.
What about it?
Yeah, sure. Ask him. Yeah, Jeff, what do you like specifically about it?
You know, I just want to say, as Jeff's possibly responding to Gisela's question, what specifically do you like? I want to say I enjoy coconut oil.
Yeah, coconut oil works also.
I've used Vaseline. I've probably got it on my lips more often than not. But to do a whole, face nap, whatever's left over, the dry skin on the legs and such, I slather that coconut
for
oil.
every day.
Love it.
But when you go out in the cold, when you go out in this kind of cold, like 20 below, and you really are in the cold,
You're going
Vaseline.
with Vaseline.
Oh, definitely. On the cheeks, on the nose, on the chin, because those are the areas that when you come back in, when I go out feeding early in the morning, when we go feeding.
I don't know if you
very
can tell, but
cold.
she's got very lovely skin.
Well,
Jeff is saying it's looser, and the interaction between you adds a lot.
Oh, thank you.
And then
thank you.
And Kathy says, yes, I think you have a lot of info to offer on many topics. Thanks for sharing your wisdom.
Thank you very much. And I see we are a little over the time already again. Thank you so much for listening again. Next week, hopefully, I will have another friend of mine who also is, she is not so much in the pet behavior, but she is a teacher that teaches disabled children or mentally impaired children, autistic children, and so on. And I'm sure that she has a few things for us that we can learn from her. And I am looking forward to having her. And I am so looking forward being with you next Sunday again.
And I'll be on the listening end next Sunday. I can't
Yes.
wait to hear that program.
Yes.
Thank you
yes.
for having me.
You're very welcome. It's such a pleasure having you. And
It's
it's so
my pleasure.
nice having you as a friend. And Amnon, thank you very much for your
No,
commentary.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tanya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.